Hi guys, it's Rebecca. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Today's video is going to be my introduction to my Pan That palette for 2026. I am very excited because I've chosen something a little bit different to do this year as opposed to other years that I've done. I've done eyeshadow palettes. I've done a lip palette that taught me that I don't like lip products in a palette. Ever since I did the Pan That palette using that lip palette from Urban Decay, I have never again used anything potted unless it's a lip balm, but color wise, never. I was like, nope, that's not for me. And obviously I've done like face palettes that has a combination of like eyeshadows and face products and stuff like that. So for this year, I will be planning not one, but two palettes. And the reason why I'm introducing both of them now is because they have so little product in them that I feel like it's almost cheating that I introduce a palette and then, 6-7 months from now I finish it and then I start at 2.0 in the middle of the year. So I figured like these two palettes are gonna count as one. So each palette is a half, if that makes sense. They're both face palettes and they both have the same type of products in them, but one is definitely I feel like one has less product than the other, so I'm gonna introduce that one first. So I hope you guys are happy with my choices when it comes to Pan That palette for this year. We gotta do what works for us and what's gonna make us exciting to pan a palette, whether it be eyeshadow, whether it be a face palette, whether it be lip products. We have to be excited and we have to look forward to using the palette. Otherwise, this whole idea of panning a palette is not gonna work. So the first half of this Pan That palette is going to be my Charlotte Tilbury Glowing Pretty Skin palette. I do have it in the, it doesn't say if it's like medium, light, or whatever, but it's pretty light. This is what the palette looks like. It has obviously two highlighters, two blushes, a contour shade in kind of like a setting powder type of shade. Yes, so I have the cheat sheet here in the back and I did mention it all right. All the things that I said was correct. But the thing is that this palette, each pan is 2.5 grams, you guys. 2.5 grams. I feel like I'm gonna eat this palette. I can go through product very fast, and the fact that these are basically deluxe size samples, I did not know this when I first purchased this palette. I think it was about 2 years ago. I think I bought it during a Nordstrom anniversary sale, I think. I could be wrong. But I was like, Charlotte Tilbury, it's a really good brand. People talk about this brand. And I was excited to try it out. Obviously, I bought it and I thought it was real pretty. But then when I was really looking at the packaging here itself, I'm lying, it's 2.8 grams. I stole 0.3 grams from it, but 2.8 grams still. This is very tiny. This palette was like, I have the box here. This palette was $75. $75, you guys. For 6 pans that are 2.8 grams. How much is that total? It's a little bit under 18 grams. If you do the math, 6 times 3 is 18 and it's less than, so I don't know, maybe like 15 grams, 16, 17 grams. The point being is there's very little product in here. And if I can use it up and get a huge like compact out of my collection, that'd be great. So one side is more like shimmer, like satiny, whereas the other side is more matte. So it's nice that I'll have different kind of options in here. But yeah, I'm choosing to do this one first just because the pants are so small, like I said, as opposed to the next one that I'm going to show you guys. But yeah, this is going to be the introduction for this guy. So that's this one. The other half of this Pan That palette is going to be from Becca. This is the Be a Light face palette. You guys can see everything. Very reflecting. And the net weight for this guy is 15 grams. So they're both relatively the same size, but this one has a little bit less. I can't open it. Product. So basically here you have one option for each. You have, I want to say this is kind of like the setting powder for the face. This is a highlighter, a bronzer, and a blush down here. So if I'm kind of estimating on how big the pants are, I would say that this is these two on the edge are 5 grams, and then these two are 2.5, just because they kind of look kind of similar to what they look like size wise. So that would be, like I said, pan number 2. So obviously palette number 2. So obviously I'll be focusing on this one first, and then as I'm finishing stuff from here, I'll move over to this palette right here, and then whenever I finish both, that'll be the end of my pan that palette. I hope you guys don't mind that I'm using 2 palettes as one. It's just, like I said, I wanted to make it a little bit challenging. Using up one of these is gonna be no challenge. Using up both of these, that's when it starts getting a little bit challenging. So I hope you guys don't mind. My neighbors are here and I'm like in front of the window. I don't want them to see me, but yeah. So that is my introduction for Pan That Palette. Super short video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.